All right. Is my audio pretty good there, Bishop?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so today we are going to be talking about global peace.
If you want to mute my mic, you can do so.
You can leave it
Thank
on,
you.
it's fine. So we are the Academy of Universal Global Peace, USA. We have several arms under AUGP USA, one of which is the United Nations University for Global Peace, Global Apostolic Diocese USA, One Nation Chapel. That's the only catch with this. Tricia, I see you. Welcome back. And Dr. Steele has a brand new look today. Chief Yavapai. All right. So we're about to start our session. I am the Chief Governor of the Academy. We are intergovernmental under the United Nations and the European Union. My chairman, founder and chairman, Dr. Madhu Krishan, he sends his regards as he will not be able to attend today's session. But we bring you greetings nevertheless. And we are about to start our session on global peace. So today we're going to be talking about principles of peace building and conflict resolution. Principles. I'm just going to ask everyone, can you please mute out yourselves, mute your mics kindly. Causes some disruption to the recording. Awesome, thank you so much. Dr. Steele, welcome.
Thank you.
I'm hearing Robert Graydon. Hello, Robert. Welcome. It's a pleasure to have you. All right, once we get past our training session, we will open up the floor for introductions and to have some fellowship among those that are present today. In the meantime, we are going to get started. So today we're talking about global peace. And we're going to be talking about the principles of global peace, peace itself, conflict, resolution, and peace building. The principles. Peace building requires all people to be aware of their own power, strengths, and abilities, and use it to create non-violent forms of synergy with others to meet their human needs via collaboration. That type of synergy is basically expressed as an interaction with a greater effect. So what we strive to do in peace building is to collaborate with people, realize our strengths, our abilities, and our giftings, talents, so that we can use those in a non-violent way to collaborate and to promote peace in our community, in our homes, in our state, in our country, with our neighbors. Point number 2, responds to the root cause of violent conflict including unjust relationships and structures, in addition to addressing its effects and symptoms. So when we have conflict, there are certain ways that we deal with conflict. In order to resolve the conflict, we have to find the root cause. You know, it's like having a bruise or an injury with an open wound. And if we keep treating it by taking painkillers instead of addressing the root cause, the injury itself, and we don't fix the injury, we will have to continue taking painkillers or medication to try to resolve that type of conflict. So what our approach to dealing with conflict is to find the root cause, what's causing the problem, and address it directly. Because the root cause is what causes the effects and symptoms of conflict. Point number 3 is based on long-term commitment. If we want to bring resolution in the middle of conflict, we have to realize that it's going to take some commitment on our part. And it's not we don't have microwave fixes for these types of conflicts. Some of it would take, most of it would require us taking some time and being committed to the resolve to make it happen. Point number 4, uses a comprehensive approach that focuses on grassroots while strategically engaging actors at middle range, top levels of leadership. So when we choose to engage in bringing resolution to conflict, we must take a comprehensive approach and realize it's not just going to take one person to resolve the conflict, but we may have to engage people in different parts of the community or different parts of the country or different parts of the globe with different giftings, with different talents, with different abilities, at different levels of leadership, different levels of understanding. And we bring this group of people together who would, on a comprehensive note, would collaborate for global peace. Point number 5, requires an in-depth and participatory analysis. So in order to understand the conflict, we need to do an in-depth analysis to understand the problem. We cannot take it at face value.
The TV, no. I don't have it by interest.
Okay, one more time, I'm just going to ask everyone, please keep yourself muted. It's causing some disruptions for us. Would greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much. Okay. Point number 6, provides a methodology to achieve right relationships that should be integrated into all programming. You know, many of us, we all have relationships one way or the other, but specifically in conflict resolution and peace building, we must be able to build relationships, not just based on having a relationship, but right relationships with meaning, relationships that understands collaboration and the need that we have to create that type of synergy for global peace. And that must be integrated into the programs that we have. Point number 7, strategically includes advocacy at local, national, and global levels to transform unjust structures and systems. Part of the problem of conflict and wars is because of the structures either being broken or the structures being unbalanced and does not take a whole lot of things into consideration. Therefore, it's considered to be unjust. The scale is not balanced, so it brings offense on the one side. It causes people to take advantage of other people because of the structure of how things are set up. And those need to be taken into consideration when we talk about building global peace on every level, on the global level, on the national level, and on the local level. But remember this saying that most of us have heard growing up, charity begins at home. In order for us to bring peace or build peace, we must first start at home. Exercise that building of peace in our homes, in our own lives, with our friends, our neighbors, our associates, our co-workers, our fellow workers. Exercise the same thing on that level. And then we step out into the community, then we step out into the city, then we step out nationally into the country and take it globally. If we are at war within ourselves, it would be impossible to achieve global peace outwardly. We must first seek the resolve within our own hearts before we can ask someone else to bring a resolve of peace. Point number 8, builds upon indigenous non-violent approaches to conflict transformation and reconciliation. So when we talk about indigenous, we talk about something that is virgin, untouched, something that's been there for generations. You know, today we have physical dollars, money. Back in the day, they used to have these agreements to trade. Just by trading what you have with someone else's for something that they have. So the approach that we should take based on this point is that we should go back to that first place of a nonviolent attitude, a nonviolent approach, a nonviolent behavior to bring reconciliation. Understanding that sometimes technology and culture can change, and culture is changing, and technology is increasing, and change is bringing great changes. And sometimes sudden change can be like a shock to us where we are in our culture, and it can cause violent conflicts. So even those changes must come, if we don't manage it and allow it to come in gradually, it can create sudden shock. Number 9 is driven by community-defined needs and involves as many stakeholders as possible. Get people to take responsibility. Get people from the community to take responsibility. Everyone has needs, and everyone wants their needs to be met. But if we bring all the stakeholders at the table, and everybody pitch in, then we're going to create a synergy for global peace. Point number 10 is done through partners who represent the diversity of where we work, share common values. So understanding through partners, we represent the diversity and we share common values on many things. We all need food to eat. We all need shelter. We all need transportation. We all need to be healthy. And in order to be healthy, we all need to treat our bodies in a certain way. It's required. Every one of us, we have needs. Every one of us. And we have common values. Everyone wants to feel safe within their own environment, where they are, and not feel threatened. Point number 11, strengthens and contributes to a vibrant civil society that promotes peace. So we want change. And we're watching, we're looking for somebody to bring change. While we're looking for somebody to bring change, we must not just keep looking out for someone else to bring change, but we ourselves must start making those changes on our own. Be part of the change that we want to see. So if we want the society to be vibrant, we need to contribute something to it instead of being a bystander and just looking on. Promote what we want to see. Be what we want to see. Represent what we want to see. Reconciliation, I'm going to use a biblical reference here on Matthew 5:21-24, and it says, "You have heard that it was said of them of old time, thou shalt not kill, and whoever shall kill shall be in danger of the judgment. But I say unto you that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment. And whosoever shall say to his brother, Raka, shall be in danger of the council. But whosoever shall say, thou fool, shall be in danger of hell fire. Therefore, if thou bring thy gift to the altar, and there rememberest that thy brother hath aught against thee, leave there thy gift before the altar, and go thy way. First be reconciled to thy brother, and then come and offer thy gift." We cannot be that hypocritical. If we want it to work, it will cost us something. There is a level of pride as human beings that we share. We don't like to be wrong. We don't like to lose. We don't like to give up. So the point I want to bring out from here is, from a biblical reference of reconciliation, is that Jesus was speaking and saying, if you have a gift and you're going to take it, most of us are spiritual. You're going to bring your gift to lay it at the altar before God. And on your way there, or when you get there, you realize, wait a minute, between myself and my brother, we have a problem. I did not offend my brother, he offended me. He did me wrong, but our relationship is on the rock and things are very bad. So you know what? Maybe I should just put my gift down, lay it down, put it down for a moment, and let me take a step backward. Go and be reconciled to my brother, and then come back and offer my gift to God. It's going to cost us something. we would have to give up some of that pride. In our minds, we're going to be saying, I'm right, I'm right, I'm right, and I'm not going to give up because I know that I'm right. So we have to make an effort to fix it. Fix the root cause. Don't cover it under the rug. That's the normal way problems are usually handled in our society today. By sweeping it under the rug. And as it calms down, it comes back up tomorrow and we sweep it under the rug, and it comes back up again and we sweep it under the rug. We have to take it head on. We have to fix it. Once we fix it, there's nothing under the rug to deal with. We got to clean out our closets and make sure there's no skeletons in there to find. It's tough, but yes, it will cost us something. Peace. What is peace? Peace is a state of mutual harmony, abstinence from hostile antagonism and violence, an atmosphere of love, appreciation, and respect. I usually tell people, if you create an atmosphere for people to fight, they will fight. If you walk into an environment where everybody's drinking and fighting and screaming, eventually somebody's going to get hurt. But if you walk into an environment where everybody is showing some sort of gratitude, some sort of respect, acting and behaving in a harmonious way towards each other, chances are somebody's going to get some respect. So we got to consider the environment that we put ourselves in. And bear in mind, we have the ability to change the environment that we are in. So on the topic of peace, I'm going to read from Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 7. And it says, when a man's ways please the Lord, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him. So we have, and to most of you should already know that we are a Christian foundation. We are not having church right now. We are teaching on a global peace forum about global peace. We are using scriptural references, which is very fitting for this moment. When a man's ways please God, here's what it says. God will even cause your enemies to be at peace with you. And if we strive to please God, it means that we're going to continually strive to do the right thing. Not to kill, not to steal, not to take from others what does not belong to you. Show respect to everyone, regardless of their culture, their race, where they were born, the language they speak. None of that matters. What matters is that we treat everyone with love and respect. Conflict. To be in opposition or disagreement. So what causes the conflict? Is when, first of all, when you talk about conflict, it's always the first thought would come to your mind would be disagreement. We have a disagreement. We are on opposite sides. So therefore we have a conflict. To be in contradiction, discord, or quarrel. That's a conflict. What is a conflict? Conflict is unresolved offense that breeds hate. Unresolved offenses. It can only breed hate because we are not doing anything to fix it. Resolution. What does it mean by resolution? It's a formal expression, opinion, or intention made with the intent to fix something that is unresolved or broken. So when we have conflict, the first thing as peace builders that should come to our mind is resolution. How do we fix it? But before we even get to how do we fix it, we must realize that it's broken. And in order to realize that it's broken, we have to admit the facts and don't get into denial thinking, it'll blow over. Let me just leave it for a day or two. It'll blow over, it'll get better. So let's just sweep it under the rug. No. In order to get rid of the conflict, we must first realize there is a conflict, find the root cause, and fix it. Unresolved, unresolved, unresolved. That is the conflict. So therefore, we must fix what is broken. Finding a way to make something workable. Many a times we're going to see things in a way that the perception of it would be that it's not workable. And if we don't dig deep enough, if we don't look hard enough, if we don't fight hard enough, if we don't press hard enough to find a way to make it work, chances are it's not going to work. And we're going to walk away saying that it's broken. It's never going to be fixed. Well, there's always a way. We just got to find it. We just got to find it. All people desire to live in a world of peace and harmony. What is harmony? A consistent joining of multiple parts working together in agreement through what? Relationship and structure for one purpose with one set goal. What's the word? Unison. When we talk about something working in unison or harmoniously, we think about an engine that is just working and running smoothly without hearing a cranking noise. But it's working in harmony. All pieces are doing what they're supposed to do. There was a part of the United Nations that's called UNESCO, the UNESCO Constitution. And it says, since wars begin in the minds of men, it is the minds of men that the defenses of peace must be constructed. So if wars get started in the mind, where do we start building peace? The same place that the war began, in the mind. So when the war breaks out, everybody pulls out a gun. What do you get? So we add to the conflict. We just kill people. But we must realize that if war starts or begins in the minds of men, that the defenses of peace must also be constructed in the mind. What is war? War is active hostility or contention. I'm going to use a biblical reference here from Romans chapter 12, verses 2 and 3, and it says, and be not conformed to this world, but be you transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. For I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly, according as God has dealt to every man the measure of faith. So let's talk about this for a moment. When we get conformed to this world, we think of ourselves only. We become selfish. And in order to fix that, we need to have our minds transformed and renewed with a new way of thinking, to love your neighbor as yourself. Look at what verse 3 says. But in order to change this, that nobody should be thinking of himself more highly than he ought to think. Okay, how do we do that? Stop thinking like we're drunk. Think soberly. Think with a clear mind. Consider the other person. If you are going to say something that's going to bring offense or be offensive to that person, think soberly. Don't say it. We, believe it or not, we have control of our tongue. We can choose not to say something that's going to hurt somebody else. We can choose to say something nice instead of something hurtful. So instead of telling somebody, I think you're dumb, that person might have a challenge. You can turn that around and tell the same person, you know what? I believe you can do that if you try hard enough. Change the way that we speak to people. Change our approach as far as how we treat people. Treat people with dignity and respect, the same way that we would want to be treated. UNESCO's statement, peace must be built upon the intellectual and moral solidarity of humanity. So UNESCO developed educational tools to help people live as global citizens, free of hate and intolerance, promoting cultural heritage and equal dignity of all cultures to strengthen bonds for global peace among nations. On the same token, this is exactly what we are doing under the Academy of Universal Global Peace USA. We are teaching people to live as global citizens, free of hate and intolerance, and promoting cultural heritage and equal dignity for all cultures, and to strengthen bonds for global peace among nations. Hence, we have formed the Charter of Tribal Nations, to which we are uniting all of the tribal nations that stands alone, and not even many of those governments are not acknowledging them as a nation. Dual purpose. So the body or the flesh thinks about self-purpose, all about me, myself, and I. The mind thinks about the whole purpose. But one cannot work without the other. So we have to work the dual purpose together to cause our body and our mind to align to accomplish the goal. So let's talk about the mind and the body for a moment. The mind, the element, substance, or process that reasons, thinks, feels, wills, perceives, or judges. That's what happens in the mind. The mind can be influenced to do good or evil. The body, the physical structure and material substance that makes up a person. The body will follow the instructions of the mind to do either good or evil, craves to satisfy itself. So the influence comes from the mind, the body craves to satisfy itself. But if the mind influences the body to do good, the body will do good. How do we do that? We transform our minds by focusing on doing the right thing, doing what is right. Conflict begins within the individual self. to be full of one's own ideologies that has no regard or respect for others or their well-being. And I'm sure many of us have seen the Incredible Hulk. On one side, you have the man that is not changed or transformed into somebody else. On the other side, you have the selfish man that changes and becomes angry and can destroy anything that stands in front of him. So we have to deal with self when it comes to conflict. It starts within us. I'm going to use a reference here from Galatians 5, 19 and to 21. And it says, now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envyings, murders, drunkenness, revilings, and such like, of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of God. All these things arise from being selfish. And if we want to not be selfish, we got to put off these things that so causes us to be full of ourselves. Here is a quote on selfishness. One of the greatest diseases is to be nobody to anybody, by Mother Teresa. On the point of selfishness, it's like a vicious circle, only living for oneself. Lust, exploitation, prejudice, greed, vengeance, arrogance. It's the basis for conflict. The basis for conflict: lust, an intense, uncontrolled, ardent, overmastering, excessive craving to do wrong. Believe it or not, there are people who walk around with those types of craving just to do wrong. Exploitation, to use persons for selfish reasons. Prejudice, an unfavorable, judgmental opinion or feeling formed without knowledge, thought, or reason. Greed, to display an excessive, rapacious desire for wealth or possession. Vengeance, inflicting of injury, harm, or humiliation upon another as a form of revenge. Arrogance, an overwhelming display of superiority, self-importance, and overbearing pride. The basis for conflict. Now we're going to talk about unselfishness, which is, like, again, it's another circle, but this circle is actually living for others, doing things with the people that's around you in mind. We need to exercise self-control. We would be required to perform some type of service for somebody else other than us. Dealing with fairness, generosity, forgiveness, and humility. It's the basis for harmony, to cause things to work smoothly. Unselfishness, reference from Galatians 5, 22 and 23, and it says, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. And guess what? Against such there is no law. So if we want to be unselfish, we must exercise these traits of being gentle, Show goodness, have a little faith, be peaceful, share some love and joy. It's not illegal to do so. The basis for harmony, self-control, to exercise restraint of one's feelings and actions. And the answer is yes, we do control our actions. So we need to exercise some type of restraint on what we do and what we say, how we act. Service, do something. Don't just be someone that just stands by and watch things happen. Do something to make something happen. Fairness. Be free from bias or injustice. Generosity. Giving liberally. Forgiveness. Release grudges and hurts by letting it go. Many of us don't know how to let things go. We typically we get into that mode of, I'm going to forgive you, but I just can't forget. You just can't forget. So every time you bring it back up, you remember, and you get off into that bitter, hateful mode, and you're right back where you started. When you let something go, it means that you don't let it control you. Humility. Esteem others above yourself. Don't walk around with a chip on your shoulder thinking that you're better than everybody else. Sources of conflict. Spiritual sources of conflict. Result of original ancestors, separation from God, and negative influence from evil spiritual forces. Individual sources of conflict. Disunity within the individual and confusion of values. This can happen when we have our values misplaced. We value the wrong things. Family sources of conflict. Family dysfunctions affect succeeding generations. So some people carry on the dysfunctional side of conflict. It's like it's passed on from generation to generation. But those types of conflict can be broken. National and international sources of conflict. National policies affect future generations and can lead to conflict within or between nations. Just as our growth is taking place every day, we are experiencing excessive growth in many different areas. And that means that some of our policies will need to be changed. And if it's not adapting, if it's not fitting for the culture, for the society that we live in, it can create great conflict. Separation from God. No God-like values. Confusion of values. Doing wrong instead of right. Family dysfunctions. Root cause of rebellion. National policies without human emotions. Individual choice to resolve or repeat past conflict. Each person passes on either the problem or the solution. So bringing something from the past into the future could either be good or bad. But we have to know the difference. Does fighting resolve conflict? Fighting can be necessary for self-defense, to defend the weak. Fighting does not resolve conflict. Defeating an enemy does not answer his grievances or end his hatred. The defeated are tempted to seek revenge. We've seen enough movies of that, huh? Fighting do not resolve conflict. Grievances, something considered wrong that cause distress to others. That's a grievance. When it's considered wrong and it brings distress to somebody else. Hatred, extreme hostility. Revenge, payback or punishment for past wrong. Basis for conflict resolution. We have a state of harmony and a state of conflict. So let's just say we started off with harmony and we lost that. When we lose the state of harmony, we end up having a state of conflict. But what we have lost can be restored. Indemnity conditions, efforts to reverse the process by which the original harmony was lost. It can be reversed. Basis for conflict resolution, conditions to reverse the process. Point 1, find the root cause. Point 2, fix the problem. And point 3, restore harmony. Restoration of conflict. On the top in the red, we see we have unselfishness. The underside of that, we have selfishness. On the middle, we have what is right. Under that, we have what is wrong. On the very right, we have loving relationships. And then we have broken relationships. Restoration of conflict. Replace selfishness with unselfishness. Right the wrong. Mend the broken relationship. Form loving relationship. Steps in conflict resolution. Step 1, self-reflection and reorientation. Consider how one might have dealt with the problem differently. Point number 2, take responsibility for one's contribution to the conflict. We must consider what we've done. And apart from that, we need to take responsibility. The late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "We never get rid of an enemy by meeting hate with hate." Let me say that again. It's too important. We never get rid of an enemy by meeting hate with hate. We get rid of an enemy by getting rid of enmity. The root cause, get rid of it. Don't sweep it under the rug. Steps in conflict resolution. Step 2, reversal and restitution. A, address whatever caused the other to feel hurt and violated. So if you have hurt someone and caused them to feel violated, don't just stand there and think it's going to fix itself. It's all going to get resolved over time. Over time, it's going to lead to bitterness and resentment. And that turns out to be hate. Hate turns out to be violence. Hence the reason we have wars. B, be open to efforts to reconcile. C, seek to correct injustices. So if something was done wrong, correct it. Don't leave it as it is. Step 3, reconciliation and renewal. Give up claim for retaliation. Forgive and be open to receive forgiveness. Resolve to help the other to change. It's very hard for people to change or to admit that they've done wrong or they've made a mistake. But knowing that as a leader, knowing that as a person, if we come to our own resolve and decide to help the other person to come to that realization, to accept the change and to make the change, we will have resolution. Foster goodwill. What does it mean to foster goodwill? Take the first step. You have a conflict. Be the one to step out first. Extend your hand in peace. Take the first step. Actions that lead to peace. Humility. Admitting to not always being right. Being open to learn from others. That shows humility. Generosity. Giving beyond convenience. Giving unconditionally without expectation of return. Service. Showing acts of caring to meet others' needs. Respecting the dignity of the recipient. Reversing exploitation through service. Greatest act of love, winning over one's enemy. Giving even to those who have done you harm. That's an act of love. Converts the enemy into a friend. Reverse ancient patterns of abuse and revenge. Jesus Christ, this is a quote of what he said. I say to you, love your enemies and pray for those who curse you. Do good to those who hate you and pray for those who persecute you, so that you may be the sons of your Father in heaven. Taken from Matthew 5:44 to 46. That's a tough one. You're going to tell me I need to love my enemies? Yes. Do you want to bring peace? You're going to tell me I need to pray for those who curse me? Yeah. Do you want peace? Do good to those that, you want me to do good to those that hate me? Yes. Do you want peace? So you're telling me I also need to pray for those that persecute me? Yes. Why? Do you want peace? What's the basis of all of this? Do you want peace? According to Jesus, that you may be the sons of God, sons of your Father in heaven. Attitude of an ambassador for peace. Show concern for both sides. When we get into a mode of conflict, where conflict exists, as an ambassador of peace, this is the position that we ought to take. Show concern for both sides. Affirm the value of both sides. Don't take sides. Treat each equal. Gain trust from both sides that each is being treated fairly. Aim for a win-win outcome. Guide both sides beyond blame and accusation. Mediation skills towards the offender. Okay, so the one who's actually done the wrong. How do we deal with that as an ambassador? Help the offender accept responsibility, encourage admission of wrong, help the offender accept the challenge of reconciliation, avoid labeling and blaming, praise and offer a second chance. Mediation skill towards the offended. This is the person who has been hurt. As an ambassador, what do? Help the offended forgive and release grudges. Help the offended to recognize their own faults. Help the offended to accept an apology. Sometimes that's very hard to do. Somebody hurt you and now they come to apologize. And our response might be, well, I don't need your apology. You've already done it. Why should I accept your apology? Well, do you want peace? Let's fix it. Foster harmony and friendship with the offended, with the offender. Promoting peace and reconciliation as an ambassador. How do we do that? We create service programs, sports competitions, cultural programs, dialogue between religions, women as peacemakers. Sometimes a lot of cultures may have a problem with women being peacemakers. In our culture, we don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that. Women can be great peacemakers. Also, global peace summits, community leadership breakfast. Do something to bridge the gap. So I'm going to stop there because we're going to start another series on peace building. I believe we have successfully done 1 hour. I don't feel like we should push to finish this here because we have 85 slides. So I'm just going to stop right there. All right. Greetings, everyone. Oh, I see a lot of familiar faces. That is awesome. Greetings, everyone. We can't have everyone speak at the same time. We're going to take a few moments. I just want to acknowledge a few people here. Trisha, I have not seen you in a while, so I'm just going to unmute you for a moment to say hello.
Hello, hello, hello. Good evening.
Hi,
It is
how are
truly
you?
a blessing, and I'm great. I'm great.
All right, it's a pleasure having you again. Thank you so much for being here.
Yes, yes. Happy to be here. It was truly a blessing. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I see my friend here, Robert Graydon. Robert, would you like to say hello?
Hi, Kiwi.
Hello, Robert. How are you?
Very well, thanks. How are you?
Thank you for being here. I
Oh, you're
appreciate
welcome.
it.
It's a very good service, and I enjoy hearing from you and all the important information you're conveying.
Thank you so much. We certainly appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Thanks, Kiwi.
Thank you. I have Jakisha Wright. Keisha, can you come on for a moment, say hello?
Yeah. Yes, Dr. Kiwi. I'm listening in. Great. I'm happy to be here with everyone, especially my indigenous family.
There you go. Chief, we have some new indigenous people here on. Awesome. Thank you, Keisha. Let's see a familiar face that we haven't seen here for a bit here. Dr. Confident, I know you've been busy, but you're finally here.
Yeah, I figured I should get something instead of missing everything because I always feel more edified. I feel like I'm a better person every time. I thank God for giving you the inspiration to put this program together. And no matter how much you think you know about these things or you experience it, but when you present it, you fine tune all the principles and make it easier to apply them.
Thank you.
Especially,
Thank you so much.
thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure, always.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Esther, you've been out of the country for a while. Would you like to come on and say hello to us?
Good evening, everyone. Yes, I've been missing for a while, but I'm back. It really is a pleasure listening to you, Dr. Kiwi. You have really nailed some points tonight. Thanks again for the delivery and thanks for this program.
You're welcome. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Sure. Ramona, I see Ramona Eastman is here. Hello, Ramona.
Yeah. Good evening. I'm blessed. I'm so blessed to be back. I've been away for about 3 months now because I had a brain surgery. So even though I was not in hospital, my brain wasn't functioning at a place where I could come back and understand anything that was being taught. So now that my brain is feeling like as though I can comprehend again, I'm back, and I am thankful to God, and thank you all for even having me, Dr. Kalloo.
Thank you so much for being here, Ramona. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right. Then we have okay. Clan Mother Running Wolf. Would you like to come on, say hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Peace and love, everybody.
Welcome, welcome. We missed you on the last session, but I know that you've always been here. We're so grateful to have you.
Oh, I'm grateful to have you guys. I'm glad to be back among such amazing, amazing people. And I feel like today's message was just nothing short of divine. I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Empress Monosoy.
Hello.
Hi, Empress.
How are you? How's everyone?
Good, good, good. Glad to have you here.
Thank you for
tonight.
this wonderful training. It's been very helpful.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you. Cletus Austin, my brother from St. Lucia. We tried you the last time, but we didn't get you.
Good night, Doc, and good night to all Reverend Sistren in the house.
Yes.
Of course, it has, the sessions has been very, very good. Have been very, very, very excellent for me so far. And of course, I'm longing to continue to participate. Of course, representing the Royal St. Lucia Police Force Chaplaincy Ministry.
Yes.
And of course, your word, of course, will help us in fulfilling God's purpose for the Royal St. Lucia Police Force in St. Lucia. So thank you once again. All the best.
A pleasure. Always a pleasure. Thank you so much. We have two hands raised. I'm going to bring on Gerard first. Hello, Gerard.
High honors and gratitude. All my brothers and sisters, loved ones, thank you. I mainly wanted to say thank you for everything. I was definitely enjoying the session. You spoke on a lot of facts, especially a lot of facts, national, policies, humility, everything. That's something that we always have to implement and also still study. But I also want to give thanks. Any day above ground is always a victory. Perseverance will always get us to our destination safely, right? And I just wanted to say thank you also to my family chief Yaba, Pi L, and Clan Mother Red Wolf for also allowing me to be a part of this movement, this global movement, global leadership. And I just want to thank you guys, everyone that's on this call, and also travel well and safely, to your destination as well. And I love you guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now we have Dr. Ebel.
Okay, good evening, Your Excellency. I am glad again to be here once again. I so much appreciate this. This program cannot be bought over for any amount. I mean, it's very expensive, and to know it all that we're not even paying for this is unprecedented. I appreciate you so much, Doctor. This is a knowledge that one could use to do a lot of things in life and families and environments where you stay and so on. But I was going to ask, because you're a bit fast when the class goes on, is it possible to have a script on this that we can study to get more familiar with what you are teaching?
Yes, what I will do is I typically make the videos available. I will make the videos available by sending a link to everyone that is here. So you can feel free to look at it as much as you want. And we are also posting it on our YouTube site, which I will send a link over, and you will have access to all of the videos.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. So I appreciate so much. Thank you.
All
God
right,
bless
thank
you.
you.
Really good.
God bless.
Yeah. Bless you.
Chief Iron Raven.
Greetings, everyone. I would like to thank everyone for being here today. It's always an honor. The information that you presented is totally on point today. Just spoke everything that I needed to hear today. It allowed me reflection on myself and ways to teach better. Always a way to help myself and help the people. I appreciate the information, Noble. I really do. Chief Governor, I really appreciate it.
Much humility. Thank you so much. My brother. Chief.
Honorable Dr. Kiwi Kalloo, how are you doing?
We're good. We're good. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. It just come from the mountains, so I drop in late anyways. But I know, gotta say shout out to you, especially Dr. Madhu and everyone. It's a pleasure. It's been a while for me because busy up and down, angling the land, farming, trying to get things together. You don't know. Gotta prepare for people. We can't just be running here and there and not making sure everything is stable. So
hey, I love that. We're loving that. Thank you.
Yeah, foundation is the key. I was also assisting our sister from England to share some of the donated efforts to some of the people. I volunteered to do that with some of them, so that was good to make sure, because some people claim that they didn't get some of the relief effort fairly. So I donated to share some, and I was there sharing some with some of the people who came in the shelters. So that was a good vibes too.
All right, so everybody here, that some of us who don't know Chief Tonic is from St. Vincent, and he's been assisting greatly with the people that is going through some trials there with the recent volcanic action there. Thank you, Chief, we appreciate it.
You're welcome, and I just gotta say respect and honors to you too, Dr. Kalloo.
Blessings, Chief, big up.
Peace, peace.
Yes, Chief.
Yeah, and once again, from before up to now, the great hard work is showing and proving. And this platform, it becoming available for everyone and continuing on for all of us to become strong in the positive spiritual essence of solution-based thinking. Is priceless and a necessity to all of our spirits. And I'm glad that we are together in this journey. And I think that this is going to help us revive ourselves in all conflicts and all negative energy to come to a positive light for peace, love, harmony, and life. This is awesome. This is awesome. Thank you.
Chief. Kimberly Grant.
Greetings to everyone this evening. Thank you so much, Chief Governor. Acknowledgement to my mentor, Dr. Michael Steele, Pastor Michael Steele. I was indefinitely, it was definitely a great message. As someone said, it makes you look within yourself to perfect those things that you need more work on. It brought a lot of clarity to the world of peace where there is so much chaos. And so I just thank you for such a great, fruitful message. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Chief Yavapai.
Thank you.
Greetings, greetings. Peace and love. Wonderful family here. Always a large and amazing group. I'd like to give high honors and thank you to Chief Kalloo and also Dr. Michael Steele, and to everyone who greeted me and gave honors and thank you. Thank you to you as well. Excellent ministry and excellent sermon. Sure, a lot of us need some work, and just from that is very uplifting. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Chief. Dr. Steele.
Hi, a pleasant good evening, Your Excellency, Dr. Kalloo. Good evening, and good evening, Bishop Joseph Lamar, Your Excellency. And to all the chiefs, it's so refreshing to see all of you, Big Up, Tonic, and all of you, Yavapai, all of you. It's such a pleasure to see you, and Noble. And I don't want to call all the names because we're becoming like a family, but it's a wonderful family of peace builders and kingdom-minded individuals, which is very important. The unity that is here is phenomenal. I want to acknowledge Bishop Comfort out of Ghana and those who have come on board through Her Excellency Bishop Dr. Comfort. Bishop Dr. Comfort, could you unmute her? She has a guest also that she has introduced. But I want to send greetings to everyone. Peace and love, everybody. Love you guys.
Thank you, Dr. Steele.
Thank you, Dr. His Excellency Dr. Michael Steele. And thank you for some awesome messages you have brought down in our minds. Chief Governor, today the lecture has been so awesome. And I had wanted to ask a question. When you were talking about forgiveness and praying for those who are offended you, those who are your enemies, in quotes. But there's a passage in the Word of God that people keep on telling me or asking me about. And here I want to put it across to everybody. It says, suffer no witch to live. So if a witch is disturbing you or doing anything against you, what should your prayer be? Should you leave the witch or the wizard to continue to disturb you, continue to kill your people? You know, as a minister of God, when somebody confronts you with this question, what do you do?
Yeah, it's a tough place to be, but if we follow biblical principles, we do not carry out the law an eye for an eye. Under the Old Testament law, we followed an eye for an eye. And in today's understanding of the grace of God that Jesus extended to us, knowing that we were all born in sin and shaped in iniquity, and yet he loved us, although we were in that sin. Just like Paul, how he was persecuting the church back in the days of Jesus. And in the same token, we understand that we're going to face trials with people that's going to come against us. But if we follow God at his word, we are supposed to pray, and God can move and make a difference and bring about a change in that person's life to do something different.
I do agree with you. And sometimes when I say such things to people, they say that you are allowing sin to continue. Because Galatians talk about those people that will not have part in the kingdom of God. I thank you for you also saying the same thing.
Yes, I understand. It's not an easy place to be, Bishop, but that's where the love of God has to really come from your heart to pray for someone that's actually persecuting you or persecuting people around you.
Thank you so much. But
Okay.
today, I brought somebody from South Africa, Dr. S.J. Upa. He's an ethical leader with so many conferences and in business network. He is the CEO of Ethical Leadership and Event Network Business Conference.
I'm going to unmute him now, okay? You can come on and say hello, Dr. Uba.
It's not
Dr.
responding.
Uba, you can unmute yourself.
Yes. Hello. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello, Your Excellency.
Yes, greetings.
Yes, Doctor. Thank you for a wonderful teaching. I really enjoyed it. It's been engaging. Though it's my first time to be in this program, but I really enjoyed it. And I want to appreciate Dr. Comfort for bringing me on board. I really enjoyed every bit of it. I'm happy to be here, and I want to appreciate everybody on this program. Thank you so much. You're doing a great job. The Lord bless you.
We appreciate you and thank you so very much for being here.
Thank you.
Pastor John from St. Lucia.
Yes, good evening, Dr. Kiwi.
Hello, Pastor John.
And all my brethren on this platform. Today, I really want to take this time out to say thanks to you, Dr. Madul, Bishop Lamort, and all the lecturers, Dr. Damian and others for the work that you all have been doing. You all have impacted my life so far, and I am ready to preach the gospel of peace. So may I encourage you all, keep on the good work. And tonight, I'm happy to hear the voice of my good friends, Bishop, not Bishop, Big Up. Yes, Chief Big Up and Chief Tonic. Yes, also Dr. Steele. I want to say I'm very happy and proud to be on this platform, and keep up the good work. We are praying for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pastor John. I'm going to ask my friend, my brother, Pastor Dr. Uche. Dr. Uche, can you come on with us for a moment? And feel free to come on video.
Yeah, hello, everybody.
I think we lost him for a moment. All right, he will come back on. All right, Noble Thornton.
Am I unmuted? Okay, I'm unmuted. Peace and light, everybody. How you guys doing today?
Good.
Yeah, I just want to thank you guys for having me here today. Chief Governor Dr. Steele, Meswaki. Today's topic, is a very important one. It's something that I've gone through in my life. My brother was murdered about 11, 12 years ago. And just to talk on humility and forgiveness and stuff is actually stuff that I've had to go through in my life. So this is a great reminder to me. I've just gone back and forth with, forgiving my brother's murderer and just thinking about, you know, even talking to that person and just forgiving that person and letting go all the pain and heartache that I've endured that person has caused me and my family. And you know, it's a really good topic of discussion that everybody should deeply take in and try. You know, that's the most important thing, is just to try. And everybody should have a goal of being better every day, praying about being better every day, you know. So this is a good topic of discussion today, and thank you for having me.
Thank you, my brother. Blessings.
Blessings.
Pastor Dr. Uche, you're back on.
Blessings, everybody. I've been so blessed today. Excuse me, I'm at the airport. But it's been a blessing today to listen in. I'm being blessed. Dr. Kalloo, the teaching has been so blessing and inspiring. Thank God for everybody. It's a pleasure to be in this family, and love you all.
Thank you. It's a pleasure having you. I know you're traveling to Alaska.
Yes, sir.
It should be nice.
Yes.
All the best there.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Bishop Lamont.
Hi, good evening, Your Excellency, Dr. Kalloo, Dr. Steele, all the chiefs, all the dignitaries on this platform. It is such an honor to be part of this tremendous family of peacemakers, and that is so needed in our society today. And I want to really give honor to Dr. Kalloo and Dr. Manu for, giving us that opportunity to serve humanity at the highest level. And, just listening over to what Dr. Kalloo said today, I think one of the challenges we have is how do we preserve the integrity of relationships? And I think here is where we are as a family to begin preserving that so we can pass on a legacy to the generations that's coming up behind us. So thank you all, peace, love, and strength to every one of you, and blessings to you all.
Thank you, Bishop. I'm going to take a moment here. Chief Elsom, Chief Levi.
Peace, love, and light. Thanks again for having a great lesson tonight about humility and resolution of conflicts. And that's what we need right now in these days and times with so much conflict going on worldwide. And I just want to thank Dr. Kalloo again, Chief Yavapai, Chief Bigger, Dr. Steele, and everybody on here. Hopefully we will pray and resolve any conflicts that we have within our own souls and minds and hearts as we travel forward. Peace and blessings.
Thank you. Grandmother Red Wolf.
Hi, everyone. Peace and love. I just want to give honor to everyone in their respectful places. And I am so thankful for the lesson today because there are no coincidences. So I know I was meant to hear this as well as everyone else, because now is a time for self-evaluation, a time for alignment, mind, body, and spirit. And that deals with forgiveness and forgiving others and also forgiving yourself and realizing that even though someone may no longer be in alignment with your purpose, you can still pray for them, wish them peace, love, and happiness. So I'm happy to be here. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Dr. Gerald White.
Good evening. Blessings to everyone in their respectful places. It was an excellent, as always, teaching. The topic is one of my favorite, and it speaks to how we as leaders, we have to be ready to not only be speakers of the word, but doers of the word. So again, thank you very much. Took a lot of notes and we'll put it into action. God's blessing on everyone.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Reverend Emmanuel.
Hello, Your Excellencies. It's such a pleasure to be here tonight. Thank you very much, Chief Governor, for that insightful teaching. Very, very wonderful, and I'm grateful. I just sent you a question. I wanted you to elaborate a little bit on the quotation that you quoted from Mother Teresa, where it said that you, the greatest, let me see, I wrote it down somewhere, just a moment. One of the greatest diseases is to be nobody to anybody. If you could elaborate on that for me, I'll be grateful. Thank you, and blessings to everyone.
Thank
Peace
you
and love.
very much. You know, it's actually, the Bible have a quote. It says, it's a sin for you to stand by and not do anything when it's in your power to do it.
Yeah.
We often want to see change. And in reality, one of the worst things we can do is to stand by and watch things happen and go wrong and do nothing about it. And we ourselves stand there and be nobody to anybody. In everything that wraps up today's teaching on global peace is to be somebody to somebody, to anybody, but just make a difference where you are. And as I always teach, even as you know, these training is for, it can take you before presidents and kings and many different people in high levels to exercise such gift. But the key to which we teach here is to start at home with your own family and be somebody to them. Don't be so busy. Don't be so self-wrapped up in yourself, me, myself, and I, and not have the time to invest into somebody else. As leaders, when I teach on leadership, what I say is, as leaders, we know that people have faults. So if I were to ask today, or to all of us that's here, which one of us has no faults? Anybody? We would find none, because every one of us have faults. Every one of us we made mistakes, and we continue to make mistakes because we are human. So what am I saying though? Instead of allowing everything to just go by and continue in the status quo, if we decided to do something, just make a difference to anybody, somebody, we can make a change globally.
That's right.
Don't worry about looking at the hundreds of millions of people that we cannot touch. Just touch the one that you can touch, the one that is closest to you. Start with somebody, make a difference. If we fail to do that, then we are part of the problem. Part of the solution means that we jump in, we make a difference, do something. My brother?
Thank you very much, Chief Governor. God bless you.
God bless.
In regards to all.
Thank you. All right. If anybody else has any other thoughts or questions, please raise your hand now. I see a hand. It's called Dr. Steele's hand. Go right ahead.
Thank you so very much, Your Excellency. 2 points. I want to close with well, not close. I want to share a point before, but Her Excellency Bishop Comfort has acknowledged that His Majesty the Chief is in the house, and I would kindly like if an opportunity will be given to His Majesty to just greet us from Ghana. Your Excellency Bishop Comfort, could you kindly introduce him? And then after, Your Excellency, if I can close with a comment that I wanted to share, I'd be grateful. But His Majesty would like to, I would like His Majesty to be greeted, please. Sure. Bishop Comfort, please, on mute. Bishop Comfort. His Royal Majesty is Nana.
Dr. Comfort, you can unmute.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
His Royal Majesty is Now, Asaba, and he is the paramount chief of Nanda in the Upper East region. And he's here, and I think we'll ask him to say a word or two. That will be more appropriate here.
Yes, I've unmuted him already. I think there might be a mic problem.
Your Excellency, Your Excellency, Dr. Comfort, could you kindly give His Majesty a call directly and inform him that we're not able to hear him, please?
Okay, I'm doing so.
You can. Your Excellency, Dr. Kiwi, and all guests, thank you for your patience.
Yeah, they are waiting for you to unmute yourself. Yeah, yes, sir. And then
He's unmuted. We just can't hear anything.
I've informed him.
Sure, thank you. I think there's an issue with the mic, Dr. Steele.
What I will do, Your Excellency, Dr. Comfort, if you're hearing me, Your Majesty, I will make arrangements for you to be equipped to communicate with us, and we will open the opportunity for you to speak with us on Thursday with the permission of His Excellency, Dr. Kiwi Kalloo.
Yes.
Your Majesty, please prepare yourself on Thursday, and we will open the opportunity for you to greet us. We want to appreciate you for taking the time to be seated amongst us, and we acknowledge that you were with us all throughout the training, and we are truly honored that you are seated amongst us. We acknowledge you, Your Majesty, and look forward to hearing you on Thursday, Lord's willing. Thank you so very much, Dr. Kiwi. The one thing that I want to, the final point that I would like to share with your permission, Dr. Kiwi, and with such gratitude to all of us are from so many different backgrounds.
Dr. Steele,
Yes.
Steele, one moment, please. Just hang tight. Royal Majesty Nab, can you hear me? He froze. All right. No audio. Okay, Dr. Steele, continue on in the meantime. Sorry.
It's okay. I want to appreciate all of the Christian brothers and sisters and every single individual, all of our chiefs and everyone for coming on this platform. It's a very unusual one. And I want to commend His Excellency Dr. Kiwi for undertaking what is an extremely hard task. It's an extremely hard task being a man of the cloth, should we use that term, as us religious leaders. I'm a bishop, and it is an extremely difficult task to create an environment where you're looking at bringing an environment of teaching peace and unity to mankind collectively. It creates an environment where there's so much prejudice, there's so much misconceptions, there's so much misunderstanding and misinterpretation. As a bishop, I found that when I took the journey to being a universal peace ambassador, many years, it created many conflicts with the religious circles. Where do you stand? What do you believe? I want to say this on this platform for all of us. All of you are very special to humanity. All of us. All of us have children, families, loved ones. All of us need to understand peace. I love my chief brethren, all of the chief brethren here. I love you so much. And I appreciate the reality that you experiencing in expressing your peace. I'm a Christian. His Excellency Dr. Kiwi and other Christians on this platform, their teaching and understanding and our teaching and understanding of peace is our Christian background. There are others who have absolutely no religious affiliation whatsoever, but they have a desire equally for peace. I want to admonish all of us, when you are on a platform that it is your platform with regards to peace and unity, it has nothing to do with our religion. It has nothing to do with how we feel about God or heaven or hell or all of these things. They are irrelevant when we look at the humanity that we are serving as individuals collectively. I hope that on this platform, as we go forward, we will not have the notion of the prejudices that religion has put between us. Religion, skin color, culture have put some very negative things between us that need not come amongst us when we're collectively looking at working and creating and fostering relationships for peace. So I want to applaud His Excellency Chief Governor Dr. Kiwi Kalloo for his efforts. I want to applaud Bishop Joseph Lamoth for his efforts in as much as we are both all ministers. I want to appreciate all the chiefs again. I want to acknowledge those who are out of all the other regions that have taken the time to be here. And I want you to be assured that your time here and your training will serve you well, because you'll not just hear from us, but you're hearing a collective perspective of individuals from diverse backgrounds. With that being said, I love all of you the same. I appreciate all of you the same. And when I pray, our Bishop and Dr. Kiwi, when we pray the only way we were taught how to pray. And we want to let you know that we embrace you and have you as a part of our family of humanity. With that being said, I appreciate all of you, and I hope that it clears up any misconceptions, and that as we go forward, we could work as a collective, unanimous team together to reach humanity with the things that are necessary that have absolutely nothing to do with our religious or our philosophical appearances or intent. Thank you so very much for hearing, and I hope that that has added value.
Thank you, Dr. Steele. Much appreciated. So let me just say, and I always let people know up front, we are a Christian foundation. This is not church. This is a moment that we are taking to express our love to humanity and share that the only way we know how, meaning no offense to anyone. We're not here to convert anyone. We are here to speak about global peace and talk about a global peace initiative that would help us to live among each other in a peaceful way and transform the society that we live in by our contribution. I also want to let you know that if you want to check on Facebook, on Facebook, if you go on to @Kiwi Kalloo, just the sign @KIWIKALLOO, you would be able to get onto my site where you would, I post lots of writings and videos and all of that on. And in fact, all of the videos that we do here will be posted on that site @Kiwi Kalloo. So you're welcome to log in and check it out, among other things that I post out there. So once again, thank you everyone for being here tonight. We appreciate your time, your efforts, and the sacrifices that you're making to be here for self-development on this topic of global peace. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. So again, we do what we do best, believe in humanity, and we're doing something about it. We don't want to see the mess to continue, but we want to make a difference. So we are collaborating with you.
Wait. His Majesty, I can see His Majesty. You can see His Majesty. His Majesty, I'm sorry. He sent a message, great, that we all embrace one another, and there are levels to our collective as well on development. And I see his video turned on. I just acknowledge it.
It's been going on and off, but what happened is when I unmute him, we can't hear anything. I'm doing it now again.
Okay, I think it's the bandwidth with the okay.
See, it's unmuted now. Your Majesty.
I'll assist.
Hello.
Dr. Steele.
Hello.
Yes, Your Majesty, we are hearing you.
Shalom.
Shalom, Your Majesty.
Shalom to all of you. Yes. I'm so grateful I'm part of this August team. The past lectures have all been very great. His Excellency Kalloo. But today is awesome. And it's so relevant to my situation because I get involved in conflict resolution. I am an ADR practitioner. I'm so grateful. I thank Bishop Dr. Comfort for getting me on board. I'm impressed. God bless all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Majesty, for being here. Thank you very much. Appreciate you.
Yes. I just wanted to comment on what Bishop Comfort, on Bishop Comfort's question about witchcraft. The Bible says, suffer not the witch to live. And the Bible also says that we are not fighting against flesh and blood, but against principalities, powers, and rulers of darkness. In that case, the Bible is saying that it is spiritual. And so if you have witchcraft, someone with some powers disturbing you, you should fight the spirit behind it and not the person. It is not a physical battle. You go spiritual and fight the spirit behind it or causing it. I think that is the contribution I want to add to Bishop Dr. Comfort and all of us. That's what I want to share. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Royal Majesty. We appreciate that thought. Very well noted.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Once again, we have come to the end of this session, but not to the very end of our training. We will continue on Wednesday. Every Tuesday, Wednesday, it will be the same link.
Tuesday, Thursday.
Tuesday and Thursday, my apologies. All right, Tuesdays and Thursdays on the same link. And feel free, you can invite anyone that you want to bring on. they're more than welcome. So I want to say God bless you. Let's all have safe travels to wherever we may need to go home. To those that are home, God bless you. Father, I pray your blessings upon everyone here today and your grace, oh God, in Jesus' name. Amen. And blessings to everyone. Have a pleasant good night. And I look forward to seeing you on Thursday. Peace and love.
Awesome, 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 awesome.
Chief, we'll talk shortly.
Yes, yes, peace and love.
Chief Yavapai, much respect. All right, blessings everyone. Have a pleasant night. Thank you.